Hey everyone, my name is Amber and this is my September TBR. This is just going to be a quick one because I have a lot of books that I'm carrying over from August and July into September because I have a lot of books that I didn't get around to, unfortunately. So I'm going to just carry on and try not to add to my TBR too much because I have a real bad habit of creating TBRs and then not finishing them. So the first lot are 4 books that I was meant to read in August for ARC August and I unfortunately didn't get to them. I'm just going to go through them really quickly because I've already spoken about these at length. The first one is an adult sci-fi called One Way. This came out last year in 2018. It's about 8 astronauts who are originally prisoners on Earth and they're sent to Mars to kind of set up a colony there, and then things start to go wrong. I have already started this one. I'm 75 pages in and I'm not loving it, so I think I'm going to make this one of my early reads so I can kind of plough through it and see if it gets any better. Where the Rock Splits the Sky, which is YA sci-fi. The Edge of Everything, which my camera absolutely hates. This, I think, is YA fantasy, but it could be sci-fi. And Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is the first book in her trilogy, which is about superheroes and supervillains. I've been meaning to read this one for the longest time. I received an ARC of it back in 2017, I think, and I just hadn't gotten around to it, so I'm hoping to read it soon. I'm going to try my hardest to read this in September, and then I can read the sequel in October, and then the newest release in November, and also recap them all for Recap Tins. Because a few friends and I are continuing ARC August into September, for probably the whole month because we all have a ton of advanced readers copies, I'm going to also list the October review copies that I have because I'm going to try to get through most of these, if not all of them, by the time October rolls around. The first one is The Never Tilting World by Rin Shepeko. This is the author of The Bone Witch. This has been compared to both Frozen and Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max Fury Road is one of my all-time favourite films, so I'm very, very intrigued by this. And as far as I understand it, there are 2 realms, each ruled by one twin sister. And then these twin sisters also have twin daughters, and this book is told in all 4 of those points of view. One realm is in Never-Ending Darkness and one is in Never-Ending Light, I think. I think it sounds very intriguing. I've heard amazing things about this author, so I'm really looking forward to it. The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. This is another one of what I'm sure is going to be her fantastic historical novels. This one is set in 1950s Madrid. I don't really know much more about it other than that. I just know that she's one of my favourite authors and I cannot wait to read this one. War Girls by Tochi Onyebuchi. This one sounds kind of like The 100 in that it's set in the 22nd century and the Earth has been devastated by climate change and natural disasters and nuclear war, and there's now a colony living in space. At the same time, some people are down on Earth, so kind of like The Grounders, and this book is set in war-torn Nigeria. I think it sounds incredible. It's going to be such a hyped up release, I think, and I cannot wait to read it. I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Rishi. This is YA contemporary about some teenagers who discover that the Earth is going to end in a few weeks, and I think it kind of follows the teenagers as they're dealing with the Earth potentially ending. Finally, I have The How and the Why by Cynthia Hand. This has been likened to Far From the Tree because it's about a teenage girl who has been adopted. There are also a couple of books that I'm in the middle of. I've already mentioned these several times and I just need to finish them, so I'm going to put them on September's TBR because I think September is going to be kind of the month of wrapping things up in an attempt to have the last part of the year, the last third, be as productive as possible. The first book that I need to finish off is The Bands of Mourning by Brandon Sanderson. I stopped this one halfway through because a readathon started right in the middle of me reading this book. It just wouldn't fit on my TBR. So I'm 131 pages into this one out of about 420, so I've still got a ways to go. And then the second one is Children of Time, which I think I stopped this one also because there was a readathon, or I just put it down to start something else, maybe a review copy, and I just didn't pick it up again. I'm 200 pages into this one out of 600 pages. Again, still got a ways to go, but I'm hoping to finish it off in September. Finally, these last books that I'm going to talk about are all ones that you can find on my library book haul. I mentioned all of them there, and these are just ones that need to go back at the end of September, so I hopefully need to get to these. I might just end up renewing them again, but we'll see. The first one is Ancillary Justice by Anne Leckie. This is about a sentient spaceship, or an AI who's used to be a spaceship and is now a robot. I'm not entirely sure. It's sci-fi. I'm really looking forward to it. The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner. This one was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize of 2018, and 2019's list has been released and I'm really looking forward to reading a lot of those, but I kind of feel funny about not reading this one because it's one that I was really interested in. So I think it's set in a women's correctional facility, basically a prison. I'm not sure if the main character is imprisoned unfairly, but I think it talks about how women are treated differently to men. I think it's pretty much about the main character as she lives her life in prison. The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. This is an adult thriller. It's about a woman called Amber who basically wants Mrs. Parrish's life, but she soon realises that Mrs. Parrish doesn't have the best life and her husband may not be all that he seems. Year One by Nora Roberts. I'm so hyped for this one. It's about people who get infected by a virus and then gain superpowers, and that sounds exactly like something I will love. Hormonal by Eleanor Morgan. This is non-fiction about women's bodies and women's mental health and how a lot of things are blamed on women being hormonal rather than actually having, you know, feelings. And the final book on my TBR is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I actually have no idea what this one is about. I think it's set in Ireland and it's a adult literary fiction sort of thing, and it's about two people who meet and their journey together. That's very, very vague. It's a really short book and I didn't really want to read the synopsis. It's only just over 200 pages long, so I didn't want to spoil myself. So those are all the books that I'm hoping to read in September. I'm probably not going to get to all of them. The last ones on the TBR will be the library books because I can renew those. I'm just going to try my hardest to get through my review copies, get through the books that I still haven't finished, and then I'll start tackling the library TBR. Let me know which ones you think I should read in the comments below. I'm also going to include links to all of these books so that you can go and check out the descriptions in more detail. They will be affiliate links, so if you buy anything from Amazon using my link, I will receive a small commission. Please don't feel pressured to, it's just there just in case. Thank you for watching. I'll be back soon with another video. Bye!